In the era we know as the Premier League, Manchester United was dominant during the early days of this period due to smart management, excellent recruitment, and, importantly, a group of academy talents that would likely excel in today's football. Arsenal, on the other hand, took a different approach. By the mid-1990s, the club had experienced a decline at the beginning of this new era, having been a strong force in English football for many years. They needed to make changes. Fortunately for them, a board willing to take a chance on relatively unknown Frenchmen and the relaxation of rules regarding foreign transfers in the EU were all they needed to regain their top position. However, in 1995, before any of that happened, one particular transfer stood out as among the most important, if not the most important. That transfer was the acquisition of Dennis Bergkamp, a player renowned for his composure. Thierry Henry, Patrick Vieira, Sol Campbell, and Tony Adams all relied on him to make their collective dream work, and vice versa. Naturally, the Dutchman played a central role in Arsenal's success in the late 1990s and early 2000s. He possessed one of the most graceful touches in football, was a consistent presence in Arsenal's attacking line, utilized in various forward positions, and served as an exceptional leader. Above all, he became an iconic figure for Arsenal Football Club. In this video, we will reflect on the exceptional skills and qualities that defined Dennis Bergkamp's career. So, how good was Dennis Bergkamp? When you think of the term footballer, a specific image likely comes to mind. Some may accuse us of having a narrow view, but when someone wakes us up and asks us to picture a footballer, we tend to visualize Dennis Bergkamp. He epitomizes the essence of a footballer for us. When Johan Cruyff himself praises a player, there are few higher accolades. Dennis Bergkamp was a genius when it came to football. He controlled the ball at his feet, having been schooled in the art of total football where he truly excelled. It's only natural that Johan Cruyff not only acknowledged him, but also held great appreciation for his abilities. His first touch and decision-making skills, in our personal opinion, were unparalleled during the time we've spent watching English football. His dribbling skills, balance, and physical stature at a height of 6 feet made him a powerful and noteworthy presence on the field. He had a smooth style of play, which is a fitting description. Moreover, he sometimes displayed a more aggressive side, resorting to elbows or forceful challenges on multiple occasions. He earned the title of the third best player in the world twice and was named the second greatest Arsenal player in history, second only to Thierry Henry in 2008. Despite his boldness during matches, he was known to be a reserved and introverted person who had a fear of flying, a sharp contrast to his confident demeanor on the field. Born in Amsterdam in 1969, Dennis Bergkamp was the youngest of 4 siblings in a working-class family. His father worked as an electrician and also had experience in the lower tiers of Dutch football. Bergkamp followed in his father's footsteps by developing a love for football and gradually refining his skills. When discussing how he improved his technique during his childhood, he once remarked, "I spent every day playing with my friends, and we had to adapt to a certain style of play. We avoided tackling on the streets because it was painful, so we focused on maintaining balance, passing the ball, and staying on our feet." At the age of 11, he joined Ajax's youth program and admired several players while growing up. Notably, Johan Cruyff and Glenn Hoddle left a lasting impression on him. He was drawn to their composure, vision, control, and balance. Given the fast-paced nature of English football at the time and the prevalence of mistakes, the calm demeanor of a player like Bergkamp stood out. It's worth noting that he appreciated Glenn Hoddle despite Hoddle's association with Tottenham Hotspur during significant portions of his career. Johan Cruyff, who happened to be the manager of Ajax at the time, was highly impressed by Bergkamp's progress. In 1986, the decision was made to promote him to the first team. With his exceptional skill set and mentality, success was virtually guaranteed during his time at Ajax. Shortly after his debut, he became a regular in the first team, marking the start of an extraordinary journey. He played a pivotal role in Ajax's recapture of the Eredivisie title in 1990 after several years of PSV dominance. From 1991 to 1993, he was the leading goal scorer in the Netherlands for 3 consecutive seasons. Remarkably, he achieved this around the age of 24, and it's important to note that he operated in various positions on the pitch. With 122 goals in 239 games, he was undoubtedly a highly sought-after talent. So, here's a question. Can you guess who pursued him next? You'll never believe it, we assure you. It was Real Madrid. However, circumstances were different back then. Italy served as a prime destination for the world's best footballers throughout much of the late 20th century. Additionally, Johan Cruyff was the manager at that point, and we don't believe he held a favorable view of Madrid. According to Bergkamp, Cruyff never directly invited him to join him in Spain. He simply strongly discouraged him from considering nearly every top team at the time, leaving Barcelona as the sole option. A strategic move, we must admit. In reality, Bergkamp only had 3 choices in his mind: AC Milan, Juventus, and Inter Milan. Scratch that, only 2 choices remained. AC Milan boasted the likes of Ruud Gullit, Marco van Basten, Frank Rijkaard, and Jean-Pierre Papin at the time, making it an unlikely destination. As for Inter Milan, they offered £7.1 million. His initial adaptation to the league wasn't the smoothest due to a physical barrier he had to overcome, making his early days there quite challenging. Many individuals there aimed to harm him, not just physically, but mentally as well. Transitioning from the easygoing culture in Holland, he had to adopt a more resilient approach. Moreover, there was the frequent change of managers, none of whom knew how to effectively utilize the Dutchman. The tactical setups at the time were entirely unsuitable for him. In hindsight, it's clear that Bergkamp excelled when he had a partner up front to combine with and create opportunities. Unfortunately, the systems employed at Inter during that period didn't provide him with the ideal circumstances to showcase his delicate play and creativity. Additionally, his struggles extended to facing mistreatment by the Italian media, who misinterpreted his shyness and introverted nature as indifference towards the club and the league. It was also during his time at Inter that he developed and solidified his intense fear of flying. Reportedly, he would break out in sweats at the mere thought of the small, shaky, claustrophobic planes that the club used for away games. Later on at Arsenal, whenever negotiations took place, they would automatically deduct significant amounts from their offers due to his fear. Bergkamp consistently accepted this and moved forward, similar to Thierry Henry, who wouldn't arrive at Arsenal for a few more years. It was a less than ideal period in Italy that preceded his arrival in North London. Nevertheless, the possibility of the Dutchman, who avoided flying, joining Arsenal was intriguing. Those who followed European football closely were all aware of his capabilities. Initially, however, his impact was limited. He faced a challenging start at Arsenal, failing to score in his first 6 matches. His breakthrough came in the 7th match when he netted twice against Southampton, becoming a crucial part of Arsenal's lineup in the subsequent months. Then Arsene Wenger arrived, and their connection was immediate. Their shared appreciation for elegant yet efficient football made them a perfect match. Wenger's arrival marked a turning point for Arsenal. The introduction of clean diets, effective training routines, and more led to a 3rd-place finish in his first year. The following year, Arsenal not only won the league but also clinched the FA Cup. Bergkamp played a central role in this success, scoring 22 goals in all competitions and providing 13 assists. He received accolades such as the PFA Players' Player of the Year from his peers and the FWA Player of the Year from the press. It was a unanimous decision. To illustrate Bergkamp's exceptional class and quality, in the August 1997 Goal of the Month competition, he claimed the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd places with goals against Leicester City and Southampton. The following years brought both highs and lows. The highs included scoring one of the greatest goals in World Cup history, a late quarterfinal winner against Argentina. The lows featured missing a penalty in the 1998-1999 FA Cup semi-final against Manchester United, resulting in a loss. This miss significantly impacted Bergkamp's confidence and mentality, to the extent that he refused to take another penalty for the rest of his career. Manchester United dominated the league for the next 3 years, with Arsenal finishing as runner-ups each time. Arsenal also brought in prominent forwards like Thierry Henry and Sylvain Wiltord, reducing Bergkamp's playing time. The departures of teammates Marc Overmars and Emmanuel Petit in 2000 raised doubts about his future at Arsenal. However, his time with the club was far from over. The resurgence came in 2002, coinciding with Bergkamp's return to top form. Another double triumph followed. It was a memorable season for Arsenal, with one moment standing out for all English football fans. On March 2, 2002, in a match against Newcastle, Bergkamp, having a fantastic season, produced a goal that is instantly recognizable to anyone claiming to be a fan of English football. Despite aging and reduced game time, Bergkamp remained crucial to Arsenal's successes. Many view the Invincibles season in 2004 as their greatest achievement. By 2006, at around 35 years old, his time was up. Not many players have had the same impact. He was a footballing force, from Ajax to Inter Milan, refined at Arsenal. His best years were there and his influence was remarkable. He's a born winner who will be remembered. So, there you have it, the story of Bergkamp that changed the course of football. If you like the video, subscribe to the channel for more updates.